Temporary protected status for Haiti has been terminated.
That means about 350,000 Haitians are up for grab when it comes to immigration. They will lose their legal status and their work permits. I am so sorry, y'all.
So now my question to the Supreme Court, what exactly am I going to say to those 100,000 children who are born here and whose parents are on TPS and can be at any time deported? What should be my answer?
Home. Get out. We know our country's better than yours. That's because we filled it with our work ethic and our culture and our values. You being here only dilutes it for us, those who built it and live it. And half of you people, more than half of you, won't assimilate. We don't want you. We don't care if you're offended. Get out. Go home.
And my hope is that you have a child. If you don't have a child, you have a nephew, you have a cousin, and you know how deeply connected parents are to their children. And for you to sit on this highest Supreme Court desk and make such a terrible, horrible decisions, to me, this is not acceptable. And I think this is the time for all of us, this entire country, needs to stand together and to say enough is enough. This is not acceptable. This is inhumane.
Take your ass back to Haiti. Yeah, you heard me. King Kevin said it. Take your ass back to Haiti. And that's the attitude that the U.S. government has towards Haiti.
To all my Haitians, me personally, I would not be anywhere I'm not welcome. To any other immigrant, I would not be anywhere I'm not welcome.
TPS for Haiti was initially started back in 2010 after they suffered that devastating earthquake, and it has been extended over periods of time.
350,000 Haitians who were living in the U.S. under TPS are about to be deported. They are about to be deported back to their country, which is still unstable. The announcement of their deportation made many of them outraged. They are on the street protesting against this decision. Many of them seem to be unhappy. But I want to remind you when this Haitian woman said this.
I'm Haitian. Why? Where you from? What's your background? You American? Dirty black American?
Wait, what?
Huh? Huh? What?
Wait, what you
American?
say?
Black American? What?
No. Hold on. You said dirty black American.
What that? You just asked me what I said. I did.
Why you said that?
Because that's what y'all are. Dirty black American.
I guess I won't be wrong if I say that this deportation might be the consequences of the disrespect of these Haitians toward black Americans. Many black Americans have a lot to say about the deportation of these Haitians. I have put together a bunch of clips of people talking about this topic. I want us to watch them. And at the end, I will come back with a very interesting conversation that I had with my black American friend where he was explaining more about this topic. Stay tuned. If you find this one interesting, click on that like button.
And I bring forth the voices of the Haitian community. We woke up this morning in fear of what that means. Family separation, deportation, and those are the realities. We have TPS holders who have been in this country calling the United States home for the past 10, 15, 20 years. They are our doctors, caregivers, attorneys, taxi drivers, the immigrants who keep these United States of ours moving. Today, the Supreme Court sent a blow to the community, to all immigrants, but we stand firm, undeterred, strong to let the community know and all immigrants know that we will not be defeated.
News of the Supreme Court's decision rippled through members of South Florida's Haitian community gathered at Miami City Hall to protest the city's agreement with Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
All of these battles are intertwined.
My people, they can't go back. It's real. The reality in Haiti is real.
In a 6-3 vote, the Supreme Court gave the Trump administration the green light and temporary protected status for more than 250,000 Haitians.
There is no grounds for terminating Haiti TPS. based on the country conditions inside Haiti. This is absolutely absurd.
But with the State Department Level 4 do not travel advisory still in place for Haiti, TPS Haiti advocates say the Supreme Court's decision is cruel. They described forced deportations to the gang-riddled nation like a death sentence.
I would not say we would likely going back. We're going to stick together. We're going to keep on fighting.
The battle is not over.
I was watching a video of this lady explaining what's going to happen now that TPS has been revoked for Haitians. And the comments were full of disappointing, sorry, hateful excuses of humans. Americans telling Haitians to go back home. The TPS is temporary. Remember all the bad y'all said about us? Now go home. Man, all of y'all are hypocrites. You see when the government mistreats you, but you go blind when it mistreats somebody else. You don't want liberation for everybody. You want it for yourself. The crazy part is a lot of y'all are talking about Haiti like it just magically ended up the way it is. Nobody ever mentions America's role in keeping Haiti the way it is now. Y'all never mentioned the occupation, the stolen money, the political interference, the destabilization, none of it. Instead of learning the nuance behind the situation, you let bigotry and ignorance control your thinking. But then you swear you care about justice. You swear you care about life, right? Y'all swear you're all about freedom. Unless it's Haitians, I guess. But go ahead, comment your gifts, your TikTok slang, your other stupid shit I'll be leaving in the comments. I'm just tired of all of it, man.
Do you maintain that it is safe in Haiti to send these people back?
Well, I think, like I said, Jake, this is a decision that's being made from the State Department, from myself and the president. And there's a lot of things that we look at when we take this in consideration. It's not just one factor that plays into this.
I just looked at the State Department's website, and they have a level 4 do not travel advisory for Haiti just from a few months ago, from April, and it says, quote, violent crime is rampant. The expansion of gang, organized crime, and terrorist activity has led to widespread violence. Crimes involving firearms are common. Crimes include robbery, carjacking, sexual assault, and kidnappings for ransom. That doesn't sound safe to me.
Well, that do not travel is not for Haitians. That's do not travel for the United States, because they are kidnapping or trying to kidnap individuals from the United States because they feel like their family has the money to pay the ransom.
Let me ask you, you said you're going to give them a plane ticket if they want to get out and go back to Haiti. How logistically would it happen? Because the FAA prohibits commercial flights to Port-au-Prince because of the gunfire from terrorists and gangs. Civil aviation, by the way, is also prohibited in Syria.
So we have several options for deporting individuals, because we have deportation flights where we can get into areas where maybe commercial travel can't go to. So we'd simply book them on a flight. We expect to have some pretty full flights going back to Haiti and going back to some of these countries where TPS has been eliminated. So we'll provide the travel for them. And like I said, we'll give them $2,100 roughly to go back home.
Let this stand as an example of what other Black migrants and immigrants should expect if they ever decide to come to this country and talk out the side of their neck, disrespecting Black Americans who literally fought for the opportunities that they're coming into this country to receive. So now at this point, even though this is supposed to be my Haitian sister, she was fucking wrong. She was dead ass fucking wrong. So my hands is fucking, ain't shit I can do. I'm gonna step aside as they handle you accordingly. Until that correction from the Black Americans started to seem less like correction and more like malice, more like xenophobia that was disguised as correction. Now, I cannot tell people how to react. I can only imagine how hurtful it must be to hear, not just for the first time, but other Black nations, other Black communities literally talking down on the very community that fought for the opportunities that they are coming to this country to seek.
This is a sad day. This is a heavy day. We have no choice but to push forward. We have no choice but to be victorious. We have no choice but to build a coalition that is going to continue to fight back against the heinous actions of this administration every day, including for the midterms.
To our Haitian neighbors in Boston, we love you. We need you, part of our community. This is a decision that is incredibly cruel.
Legislative action must be forthcoming to fix this injustice. We demand change. We demand justice. Our families demand justice.
Go back to Haiti now is dangerous.
They have people in power in Haiti. They can't control the country. They can't control it, and the rebel is it's a setup.
CNN spoke to residents of Brooklyn's Little Haiti, where a Supreme Court ruling which allows the Trump administration to end temporary protected status for Syrian and Haitian immigrants is hitting home. The White House is calling the Supreme Court's latest immigration ruling a, quote, tremendous win.
I don't think it's a good time for the Haitian to go back home.
As many as 350,000 Haitian immigrants could lose their work authorizations and ability to remain in the U.S. unless they become eligible for some other form of protection.
I don't do anything wrong over here, just working.
They're good people. They have the temporary to come to work, and now they're trying to end that and kick them back to the country.
The ruling has some Haitian immigrants and local residents worried about what's next for them and their families.
I trying to help my kids and my family.
Meanwhile, New Yorkers say the ruling could tear apart the Little Haiti community in Brooklyn.
It would definitely be a big change, most definitely.
No matter what, we're not going to give up. You have to continue to fight for the Haitian.
Given the circumstances in Haiti, I can understand her frustration. I can understand the fear that a lot of Haitians would probably have at this point. A lot of them have been here for, many, many years, 10, 15, 20 years, and this is probably all that they know. Some of them don't even have memories of Haiti and been living under this temporary protection status. But to say that you build the country is like, why would you build America but not build Haiti? That alone doesn't make sense. Like, why if you have your own plot of land, your own island that's for you, really it's technically like having your own private island. It belongs to you and your folks. Why would you not build that and come over to somebody else's house and build that up and not build up your own house on your own private island, your beautiful island, by the way? That part does not make sense. And obviously we know who built the country. I mean, the country was built by foundationally Black Americans, the freedmen, the slaves, and then, the freedmen. So when immigrants started coming over here, they were adding to a foundation that was already built and just kind of put their, they added to it. I'm not saying that they didn't help.
So America's doors are closed fully to asylum seekers. We've set up agreements where if you want asylum, then we will find a country elsewhere in the world to take you. It's very simple, very elegant, a very complete solution.
Problem is that when you build in somebody else's house, you kind of give them the right to say, okay, well, it's time for you to go. This is my house. Now I'm gonna need you to go back to your house. And I'm not saying none of this as a way to poke fun at anybody's misfortunes, because I actually feel bad for a lot of the people who don't know what they're going to do next, don't have no idea how to make a life in Haiti. So I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying that if she claims that immigrants built America, right? But why would you build America when you have a whole country that you can build exactly to the way that your people would want it to be, and just kind of make a better life for your people in your home country? They just don't make sense to me.
How are you feeling right now?
Scared. Scared for my people, scared for what's coming, scared for our country.
I think the community is right now wrought with fear and uncertainty.
It's a very chaotic moment because now people don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. We'll suffer that. They are not going to take them to the daycare. They are not going to take them to school. They are not going to take them to summer camp. And that's going to be very, very difficult for the families.
To the thousands of senior Floridians who are receiving elderly care here in Florida thanks to workers with TPS.
There's no one who benefits from this decision. No one actually benefits from this decision.
And one Haitian American priest who we spoke to is sending a clear message to President Trump.
He needs to demonstrate some kind of humanity in stopping that, and also looking at them in a different eyes. Not look at them as threats. Do not look at them as strangers. Do not look at them as illegal people, but look at them as human beings.
This devastating decision isn't just devastating for those who are on TPS from Syria and Haiti, but for all people on temporary protective status. And The important thing for people to realize is this won't just shock and devastate people on TPS, but families. And not just families, but whole communities. And not just whole communities, but our entire country. Because those here on TPS are part of our nation. These are our neighbors. These are our friends. These are our kids' friends. These are the people who sit next to your kids in the classroom. These are our caregivers. 1/5 of caregivers in this country for seniors are Haitians. This is going to send shock waves that all Americans will feel, and everybody should care, because TPS itself, the concept of it, temporary protective status, that the persecution you're fleeing, that the horrible conditions you're fleeing from your country, we have told you, you can be with us while we work together on that. It's supposed to be an American concept, that we're a safe haven for people in the world. But Donald Trump not only wants to denigrate that, but he talks about American exceptionalism. I would say TPS is one of the things that makes America exceptional. And this horrible Supreme Court decision is in line with what Donald Trump wants to do. He is trying to rid our country of black and brown people. And he's trying to make more people undocumented, ripping away their status. I gotta tell you, since this decision came through, I've been on the phone with people in my community, and one of the top concerns from parents and families is they keep asking me, what about my kids? What about guardianship? I'm worried that tomorrow I'm gonna get picked up. I'm worried maybe I'm just going to leave myself, but what do I do with my kids? When decisions like this are handed down, and when administrations like this do what they're doing at TPS, it shows that they don't see our neighbors as human. They're trying to dehumanize them and otherize them and make a second class of citizenship, a second class of people in this country. But we're not going to stand for it. Not only are we going to fight to make sure this passes through the Senate, but we're going to mobilize with people in the streets across this country, clergy, caretakers, workers, organizers, to say we want TPS protected. Because the United States Congress, the House of Representatives, more than half of us came together and voted yes on Representative Ayanna Presley's legislation. We have spoken, the people have spoken. We hope the Senate will do its job, and we will continue to fight. And to our Haitian brothers, sisters, and siblings, please know you're not alone, we're with you.
That's right.
We love you. We know this is a scary time. We're not gonna act like it's not scary. But please know that there are people in DC fighting with and for you, not in front of you, not behind you, but alongside you. That's right. Because we love you and you are our neighbors.
And it all started when Donald Trump was on that stage with Vice President Kamala Harris saying that Haitians in Springfield, Ohio were eating cats and dogs. Let me make something abundantly clear. Haitians are some of the most educated people you will ever meet in society. Some of the best people humanity has ever created. Many are lawyers, many are doctors, many are engineers, pushing the boundaries of what mankind is able to do. And the level of berating that this president has levied against these people is beyond me. Then you got Stephen Miller, his wannabe Lex Luthor ass, co-signing the nonsense when he is a benefactory of a program like TPS. His family escaped the Holocaust, came to the United States, were once upon a time accused and said that they would never be able to assimilate in Western society. And Israelis today are some of the most prosperous people, not just in the U.S., but on planet Earth. And for him to sit there and co-sign something like this is crazy to me. Then you got this crackhead nigga Clarence Thomas, who once spoke the native language of Haiti, also signing on to this nonsense. These people will be sent back to a place that our own State Department has declared none of us are able to travel to, and if you do, make a will while you're at it. Just to show the gravity of the danger of Haiti right now.
With this end of TPS for Haitian immigrants, this is the perfect opportunity for Ghana to prove just how committed they are to helping the diaspora, to unifying the diaspora and righting the wrongs of the past. I mean, over the past year, they've worked really hard to position themselves as the kind of the leaders and the pioneers of, righting the wrongs of the things that have happened. And I think that this is the opportunity to go out here and say, hey, look, Haiti, we are here for you. Come to Ghana, return home from, leave, if the United States says that you can't stay there, then come here, and then you can seek asylum here, and we'll help you here, and we'll give you everything you need here. I think this is the type of unity that everybody is really waiting to see, like, all the Pan-Africans and things like that. I really think that they need to start speaking out and reaching out to leaders in West Africa and really just trying to actually come up with a resolution that's really going to help people across the diaspora, you know what I mean? Like, instead of, only trying to target Black Americans, who I don't really think need to be targeted. I really think that if you really want to help, if you really want to be committed, if you really want to be Pan-African, then this is the time now to make something happen.
Now she gonna get her funky ass up there and say, this is our country because we built it. What did they build? And y'all do not get up here talking about y'all founded Chicago and y'all built New Orleans. Don't nobody want to hear that bullshit. And how y'all fought in the war where y'all literally were slaves and recruited by the French and they have no goddamn choice. I don't want to hear it. It is a slap in the face to Black Americans with a long lineage-based FBA, if you want to say, Black Americans, when immigrants get up here spouting that bullshit. It is a slap in the face and is disrespectful to our ancestors who actually did pour their hard work, blood, sweat, and soul into building this country. Once again, and we've said these things, I've said it a million times, coming into a home that is already built, reupholstering some furniture, doing some plumbing, swapping out a light bulb, fixing the flooring does not mean that you built the house. Coming to a dinner that's already been serving food, restocking some groceries, cleaning the dishes does not mean that you built the table or provided the food. Like, I'm going to need immigrants to stop the bullshit. And at the end of the day, if you guys, I think I saw Sister Bridget, shout out to Sister Bridget. I looked at the comments in this video and she said either they were fighting the war in 1802 or 1804, or they were over here in the USA building the United States of America. You can't have it both ways. This is not Burger King. You can't have it your way. Pick a side and stick beside it and stay there. You all were not over here building the entire country of the USA, especially when you started coming over here a good decade ago for temporary protection status. When you came over here for temporary protection status in the 20 goddamn tens, you wasn't building it. If Johnny had 5 apples, bitch. So when y'all came over here because of a hurricane or some natural disaster, a few some odd years ago, we're talking about in the new millennia, y'all built America. The Syrian people that came over here in modern day times, escaping a war-torn country, built America when they came over here. I'm gonna need y'all to stop the lying, stop the grifting, and just say that you don't want to go back to your country. Just say that. But to say, oh, we built this country, ma'am, whoever that lady is, your accent is as thick as a bowl of cold grits. You didn't build a motherfucking thing in the United States of America. You probably just got here yesterday with that thick ass accent. You are not even Americanized enough to be sitting up here saying, we built the country, if you don't sit your funky ass down. And this is what we talk about when we say that you were constantly colonizing and co-opting the plight of Black Americans. And it's disrespectful because you're disrespectful because you're simultaneously ethnically erasing us and our ancestral lineage. And we're not going for that shit. Now, if y'all built America, go and build your own countries. Isn't that so simple? Isn't that so? That's so simple. If y'all are so great, y'all built a first world country. You have a whole country that's run by you. Everybody there look like you. You're not living next door to anybody oppressing you. You ain't got no systemic nothing. It should be a breeze and a cakewalk. Now y'all got money, y'all got resources, y'all got degrees, y'all have skills. It should be a cakewalk if y'all built a first world country. To go home and rebuild yours. What y'all think about this? Spread love is the Brooklyn way. Haitians built the United States of America. They've literally had 16 years to build something viable that they could take back home, because 250,000 people, that's a lot of people. And if all of them gathered all of the resources and the money and everything that they've been able to make while they were in the United States for over a decade, and they pooled that money together and they went back home and they, built some type of community over there, it seems like they should fare well. Now, with all of the crime and everything that's going on over there, I could not imagine what it's like to live in a place like that. Like, a lot of them love to talk about Chicago and the mean streets of like Brooklyn, New York, but it is not compared. There's no comparison between what is happening in Chicago and New York City versus, and even in Cali, versus what we literally just saw in this clip that I played before I started speaking. Like, it's completely two different worlds. So I'm not gonna sit up here and like make fun and be like, oh yeah, go back, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. My whole thing is like, I've had conversations with a lot of Haitians that have come onto my platform when I've done my live streams, and they've talked a bunch of shit and basically said that they were better and they were warriors and they're the reasons why we're liberated because of 1804. And I'm just like, well, if you guys are that, you have way more resources now. Like, all of you all they say they rich, they got the degrees, they're doing so much better. It's so, y'all should really be able to make some shit shake. I mean, you all, the ones that have been here for over a decade, plus the ones that were here before then, I'm sure you have more than enough resources to pull together to create a little utopia in Haiti, to be quite frank. My heart does go out to those who really have no options and are not going to be able to survive if they go back over there, because once again, I am human, I have empathy, and I don't wish that on anybody. But for the arrogant ones that's always talking shit, like, and making it seem like we wouldn't be shit without Haiti, and it's just a lot to unpack with that type of mindset. But for those ones, this now is your chance. It's your time to shine. Show us that you're warriors. Show us that you're builders. Show us that you're the first and the best to ever do it. Like, show us. Now is the best time to put on for your country, to put on for the people that you left behind. What y'all think about this? Sound off in the comments below. Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
When did many of these Haitian immigrants arrived in America? In which year?
Well, you have to understand something. The bulk of the Haitians came to this country, the majority of the Haitians came to this country after the passing of the civil rights legislation of 1965.
What about those Haitians who came in 2010 when they were having disasters there?
What do you mean came in 2010?
Yes.
Well, they came in 2010 because of the TPS status. You have to understand, Biden and Harris and whatever, you had Haitians that were able to come into the country. But what I'm telling you, you asked me, you said when they came, I'm telling you the majority of the Haitian people, the vast majority, the overwhelmingly majority of Haitian people came during the passing of the civil rights legislation of 1965, which was done by our struggle, because America did not allow them to come at the magnitude that they are today or prior to. And sure, you've had people that came from all over the world prior to, but at the greatest majority of these people of color, including Haitians, were able to come to this country as a result of the civil rights movement of 1965. You got to research it.
Why didn't these Haitian immigrants seek for citizenship until now that they are being deported?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, because when many of these, not only Haitians, you got to understand, when many people came here from the Caribbean during that time period, you have to understand, they came through what we call, I refer to it as work visa programs. They came and they were able to work. There was no pressure from either side of the aisle in terms of for them pursue citizenship. So they did not want that. What they wanted was loyalty to their country and becoming their country. I'm just here for X, Y, and Z to work. But we told them, our leadership, Black Americans told them that that is going to change. All of that's going to change. And you're going to have to pick a side because it's going to change. So they opted out. Still, they did not want that. They didn't want to listen to what we were saying. They didn't want to pursue citizenship. Now, as you said, 60 some odd years later, 70 odd years, the politics have changed. And the politics have changed under this new administration. If you are not a citizen of this country, we can get you out. And that's what they're pursuing to do.
They are aware that they are living in the US under this TPS. But according to what I've been seeing on social media, many of these Haitians are mad. They are outraged. Why are they outraged? Why they knew that they are living in the US under this temporary protected status that can be revoked.
You got to understand something. The Haitians that are here on the temporary status, they had no intentions of returning back to Haiti in the first place. They're not going to return back. They had no intentions of returning back there. They had no intentions of returning back. Let's call a spade. Because number one, they're not going to be returning because anywhere they go, they can be exploited for cheap labor. That's what's happening in Springfield, Ohio. You can exploitate them for cheaper labor, and you're not going to have any problem with them. And they're not going to be able to form any unions to protect their job status. See, in America, we have something in many jobs, we have unions. We call them unions. What they do is they protect our job rights. So if you're a Haitian working in a factory somewhere in Springfield or in America, they can pay you whatever the hell they want to pay you, and you're not going to be a part of form no job union to protect your rights on the job.
Did these Haitians affect the job market in the US?
What happens is that we Americans want to get paid for what we are valued for. See, that's the difference. It's not that we won't accept. We want to get paid for what we are the value for. You see, what happens is the fact that we can go to any boss and say, whatever, okay, our cost of living is going up. Okay, this is what we are worth. This is what we are valued to worth. You have to pay us. Well, as an employer, I don't want to pay you because that's more I can put in my pocket. And when I can hire this person over here and pay them cheaper than what I am paying you. See, it's not that Americans won't work for whatever value. We Americans want to get work and get paid for what they are valued for. And that's what the problem of it is. Just 3 years ago, we had a doctor strike in New York City. The average doctor in New York City only gets $68,000 a year. What the hell is $68,000 a year? That's nothing to live in a city like New York. Well, if I can pay a doctor that come from India and I can pay him $25,000 a year, that's what your problem is. Well, as an American doctor, I want to get paid what I'm valued for.
Does this mean that employees in the USA are going to be happy with the deportation of these immigrants because they were hurting the job market?
No, they won't be happy with it. But what it will do is force them to pay Americans what they are worth in terms of values of their skills. No, they won't be happy with it. What it will do is force many of these employers, and this has been done, to pay them what they are valued for in terms of work and skills. We had this same thing that's happened in the state of Mississippi about 3 years ago. We had the same situation. You had a meatpacking factory there in Mississippi where they had all Mexicans working there for cheap labor. What did the government do? The government went in there. They shut them down. They forced them all out. 2 days later, the blocks to get those jobs were all Black Americans, 3 blocks long, but you had to pay those Black Americans what they were valued, what they're worth. And employees didn't like it, but they had to do it because that is the law.
Many of these Haitians were working as caregivers in the USA.
Yes.
Isn't this going to affect those people who are being cared for by these Haitians?
Yeah. Well, basically that, see, what you have to take a look at with that is that it will force the administrations in these positions, it will force them again to hire and pay Americans what they are worth. Because even in working in these healthcare industries, you have to understand how a lot of them got a foothold in there. They're not here because they're legal. And they're not there because they got the proper qualifications. They're not there for that. It's who you know to get into those particular jobs. And many of them have falsified documents to get in those jobs, which is true. And they have scammed their jobs into that true. We had a big situation there in Florida where many African nurses were working in certain facilities and they weren't qualified. All their documents were falsified. And this is Africans working in the state of Florida, African nurses. It is true. You have to look at it for what it is. What this will force administrations to do, if that is the case, you will be forced to hire Americans, but you have to pay them for what they are worth.
My brother, if I am to give a message to my fellow Africans living in the USA right now, what message would I give them?
Well, what I would tell many of the Africans, the same, pretty much the same, because it's going to be the Haitians today. Who knows who it'll probably be tomorrow? It could be the Africans, it could be the Syrians, it could be the Ukrainians, it could be anyone. But what I would probably say is the fact that if you're living in the U.S., you better pursue proper status documents. I would say that pursue proper status documents in terms of getting legalization into the country. And I don't know if you have time to do that because the laws have changed and everything is in motion now with TPS, that some people will be probably deported. I don't know how that's going to be done. I don't think it'll be done in mass. I don't know. I'm not the government. I don't know. But what happens is if your TPS status is provoked, and it has been provoked, I think what happens is that if you are deported, to start preparing yourself for the return back home. And once you're back home in your country, you can probably pursue to come back into America through legal status, however that will be done. But what I will tell you, if you are a person that it will be affected, including the Haitians, by TPS status, then I think you should start preparing yourself to return back home. And once you're back home, if you want to return back to the United States, I think you should follow proper protocol in terms of trying to return back to the United States, however that's done.
Is there a possibility of the U.S. government to reverse their decision of deporting these Haitians?
Yes, there is, but it's not done see, once the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the land, once they make a decision, it's going to be active. But what happens is that in order to overturn this TPS status, the only part of our government that can overturn it is our Congress. They can overturn this bill. They can overturn this ruling and say, well, whatever they want to in terms of their stipulation, they can overturn it is our Congress. Now, whether or not they'll do that, I don't know. But they are the only ones at this particular point that can overturn this ruling is our Congress. Because the Supreme Court is our highest court in the land. When they hand down a decision, that's final. But our Congress can overturn this ruling and this decision. And whether or not they'll do that, I don't know. I can't honestly say.
There was an interesting conversation that I had with my Black American friend about these Haitians who are about to be deported. He's one of my good friends who always inform me about what is going on in the USA. He is knowledgeable about the history of all of these immigrants who have migrated to the USA. He is knowledgeable about the history of Black Americans and the history of Africans. I hope this conversation was helpful. If you found this video interesting, click on the like button and tell me what you think down there in the comment section. Mr. TA, your African brother signing off. Ciao.